See him a beast when he hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G bring heat in the sound like.
Fighting at Cage Fury 123 on September 1st, a week away today. The man, Cam Scalio. Cameron, how we doing, dude?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for talking to me. Love talking to my Taino boys. You're my favorite.
Man.
Like how's it feel, dude? It's been, we had an interview about a month ago for a fight, and then your fight got pulled because of your suspension BS. So is all that good? You're all clear, ready to go now?
Yeah, we're all good. Everything's good. Got my medicals done. The suspension's up, so we're good to go, ready to rock.
And I mean, it's been, over a year. Like, how hungry are you? Like, is this a different energy this week?
Oh yeah, man. I'm looking to make a statement. Yeah, I've been basically in fight camp now since May, and as you mentioned, I haven't fought since June of 2022. So yeah, man, I'm chomping at the bit, ready to go. Just want to put my hands on somebody.
And it's cool too, man. Like, I'm bringing the wife with me because it's Taino night. We got you,
right.
We got Parker, we got Taylor fighting for the strap. So like, what's that energy like with you guys all training for the same fight night?
Oh, it's great, man. It's the energy is the perfect word. Like the energy's just it's all morale is high. The energy's good. What's really cool about our team over here is that whenever we have fights coming in, the last 2 weeks, like you'll have people that you know what I mean, with their work schedule and stuff like that. Like maybe 1 week they're able to get in a bunch, and then then you won't see them for a couple weeks, right? Whenever we have fights, it's like the whole team just comes together, you know what I mean? And everybody comes to the gym to train. So it's, like I said, it's high energy. The morale's high. It's just great vibes, man. It's very, yeah, it's something to see. It's something to be a part of for sure.
And I mean, Andre, he had a fight too. He got the win. So it's like the highest caliber guys are also training there, man. Like, did you get a chance to go to Boston? Were you there?
Yeah, man, I was there. Taylor and I drove up. So we were there Friday and Saturday, and then came home Sunday. Man, it was that arena it was electric. Boston, man, is incredible. So it was a really good experience. Obviously, Andre got the job done. He looked great. I feel like each fight he's adding a little bit more to the toolbox, and kind of showing the world more of his repertoire with each fight. This fight, obviously, there wasn't a lot of grappling as we're used to seeing with Andre. Got to see some of the stuff on the feet. I think he looked great. There's always stuff to work on, right? Always things to get better at. But overall, mission accomplished. It was a great trip. Good energy all around.
So I did media for the week, and post fight for the fighter questions. There's like a hierarchy, right? There, the big journalist, MMA junkie, MMA fighting, Jose and Oscar, those guys go first, respectively. No worries. I'll get third, fourth question whenever it's my turn. Andre comes up to the podium. He says, "What's up, Jake?" And I'm like, "Yes, all right, I'll go first." It was dope, man.
Hell yeah.
Is he awesome. Is he wearing any damage? Because, dude, the last 30 seconds of that fight, they literally just swung.
Yeah, right. Not really, man. He's got that little, I think he got like 3 stitches right under his eye. But aside from that, I mean, he's been in the gym every day. Obviously the training's been lighter for him, but yeah, I mean, you look at him, it doesn't really look like he just got in a fight, Like I said, aside from that little, and that it looks like a little nick.
Yeah, he's a tough old goat, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
And training with him every day, only better preparing you. You're taking on Sean Murphy, Cage Fury 123. What are your thoughts on Sean? Have you seen much from him?
I saw one fight that he had a few weeks back. It was a pretty short fight. Took the guy right down, and took his back and submitted him. Wasn't really much to see. On the feet, he didn't really look that comfortable. So I think that we'll probably be doing some wrestling, which I'm cool with wherever it takes place. I mean, I believe I can get the job. I know I can get the job done, whether we're on the feet, whether we're wrestling, doing jiu-jitsu, it don't matter. I expect to finish regardless of where that takes place. But yeah, as far as what I've seen of him, that's the extent of it. It was all of 1 or 2 minutes, not much. But yeah.
And for the fans, myself included, dude, I've never seen you fight in person. This is my first time watching you fight in person. I'm so excited. What can we expect? Like, what kind of style do you bring, and how do you think this fight's going to go down?
Okay, so obviously I come from a grappling background, so a lot of my early fights, I've had 6 at this point. They were all within my first year of competition, so I like to be active. But my first couple fights was just, I was still kind of getting myself into like the whole striking, you know what I mean? I was still kind of grasping that. So a lot of my early fights was take the guy down, right? As each fight went on, I believe that I added a little bit more and felt a little bit more confident on the feet as each fight. And by my last fight, I was feeling really good, excuse me, really good on the feet. I was landing some good, clean blows my last fight on the feet. But I was having success in the grappling. I felt like I was clearly levels ahead in the grappling. So that was a clear path to victory. So that was kind of what I stuck with. But yeah, again, to get back to your question, I think you can expect, if it goes to the ground, dominant on top, looking for the finish, right? I have, in my early fights, I had a tendency to kind of get a little overzealous. I get to the mountain basically every fight. In amateur, well, obviously, when it's just straight amateur, my first couple fights, you couldn't even punch to the head.
Yeah.
So I remember my first fight, I'm like throwing elbows at this dude's body, and he's just got to keep his hands. Like, he didn't even have to protect his face. So I'm legitimately throwing elbows and just bouncing I still got chips in my elbows from that first fight, throwing elbows and just clipping his elbow. Now that it's advanced amateur, I can punch to the head. I can cause a little more damage down there. But I'm definitely cannot wait to go pro where I can throw elbows. Because when you're posturing up from like a mount position, for example, it can be difficult to maintain mount, right, and not get bumped off because you're posturing up so high. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I can stay down low with those short elbows, I think I can get guys out of there. Yeah, my man.
And
yes, sir.
Just talking about that real quick, do you have any idea when you want to go pro? I know, like, I'll ask this next, but is this potentially your last amateur fight?
So there were talks about this being for a title, and I don't really know what ended up coming about. At the end of the day, I just wanted to get a fight. It don't matter to me if it's for a belt or not, whatever. But it would be cool to win this fight, come back, maybe fight for the CFFC title before the end of the year and then turn pro. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going day by day. I'm focused on this fight, and whatever Eddie, you know what I mean? Whatever he says, I'm waiting on his call, you know? I'm not like, hey, we're going to go pro, whatever. When he says it's time, and I'll be ready.
And
so no, you're good. So whether that's this fight and then another fight, whether it's after this fight, again, to me, it doesn't matter. Obviously, I know that I'm not getting any younger. I'm 27, so I would like for it to be in the near future. But again, I have full faith in my coach and my coaches. So we'll see where it goes.
And just talking about the great Eddie Torres, the Taino warrior, owner of Taino MMA. That's the home gym. I believe you also get some work in at Marquez and Webb too, right?
Yeah. So I actually started out at Marquez and I still train there a bunch.
Yeah.
We're all like one gym as far as I'm concerned. It's all one team. I don't look at it as like, oh, I'm part of this team, not that. We're one team. You know what I mean? I know I can call on guys at Marquez, guys at Webb's anytime if I need work. You know what I mean? It's like one big family. So I'm super fortunate and super grateful for that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but yeah, I train at Marquez. I was just there this morning for wrestling practice. I train over at Jonathan Webb's a bunch. He's got a real tough room over there as well. So, yeah, hopefully I answered your question.
I didn't really ask a question. I was going to ask a question, but you elaborated anyways, and it was good because I'm trying to get that Philly gym story out. You know, it's still, even John Anik last week on the broadcast was like, oh, the Gracies in Philadelphia. And I was like, nah, man, it's not the Gracies. It's Taino, it's Marquez, and it's Webb. So, and you know, a bunch of other ones too that are involved in some way, shape, or form. But just going off of that, for those who don't know, this is your first time on the Scrap News. So just kind of name drop some of the people you work with. Because like we mentioned, Eddie Torres, Andre Petrosky, John Marquez, Jonathan Webb. But so many more. So just name drop some of the work you guys put in and how high level it is.
You like individuals that I train with?
Yeah.
So I would say the people that have helped me out. So James Lyons, I gotta throw him in there. He's somebody that I've known for years. I originally met him when I first started training jiu-jitsu. The dude's a genius. He's helped me out so much with like just shifting my perspective on things, the mental side of this sport. So James Lyons, the man, again, I can't say enough good things about him. He's helped me out a bunch. Pat Sabatini, I train with him a bunch. Dude's an absolute wizard. I firmly believe when it's all said and done, he will be featherweight champion of the world. He's that good. It amazes me. It's like I'm confident in my grappling, right? But when you're going with Pat, it's legitimately like you're playing a different game. It's like a different sport that he's playing. It's like, what in the hell is going on? But one of the most humble dudes you could ever meet, is always willing to lend a helping hand. So I'm incredibly grateful for him. Another kid I've been training a bunch with, Chris Frank out of Webbs. He's been coming in, helping me out with my sparring rounds. Kid's a dog. Young kid. He's got a bright future for sure. Obviously Parker. Some other people that I don't want to just keep naming names, but yeah.
I mean, it's
those
that
are
good
the
a crew,
chicks,
you know?
Yeah. We
on.
got a lot of depth. Yeah, no doubt. So I could certainly go on, but I would say those are, especially for this camp. Like I said, I've worked a bunch with this camp. But those guys are staples, you know, they're helping me out year round, helping me always level up. So
Chris Frank's an arena grappling veteran. We ever going to see you guys get on arena grappling?
dude, I would love to, man. Like I said, I want to stay active. Obviously MMA is my priority. But as I was coming back from the injury, I was trying to get on as many grappling events as I could. Excuse me. And then about May, when we thought we were going to be fighting July, Eddie was like, "Hey, let's chill on the grappling. Let's lock back in, focus on MMA. Say no more. Let's do it." So, yeah, man, if there's any break, I would love to. I love what Arena Grappling's doing. I watch all their events. It's awesome. It's great. So, I would absolutely love to get on one of them in the future.
I think AJ and Eddie are talking about getting some of you guys on. So hopefully we get to see some Taino coming to Droogs.
Hell
Guys
yeah.
can check out where I roll around and get sweaty every night.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It looks like a beautiful facility you guys got up there.
It's cool, man. And I tell you all the time, I wish I was closer to Taino or vice versa, because I love your guys' spot too. But yeah, Droogs is it's a good spot, man. We'd love to get you guys in there. And before I get you out of here, Cam, I just want to ask a little bit after this fight, right? Because you've been off for a year. Are you looking up to make up for like lost time? Is that the goal? You want to win this fight, get a title fight amateur, and then go pro, fight a few times 2024?
100%. As I mentioned, like I said, my first year, I had 6 fights in a year's time. And that's what I intend to do going forward, is to stay active, jump on every opportunity that's presented to me, and go from there. I'd stay in the gym, you know what I mean? Even though I was out for the last year, and I know I'm working on it. Eddie gives me shit about it all the time. My social media presence, I know, I get it. I'm not that active on social media. It's something that I'm working on. So I know from like an outsider, right? And even the people that support me, it could be like, damn, is this dude even training? Make no mistake about it. I'm in the gym every single day. Not a day goes by that I'm not in the gym, nor has a day gone by where I wasn't in the gym in the past year that I've been out. So I just want to make that very clear. So yes, to answer your question, I want to be competing every weekend if that's possible.
Taino is the gym I'm in the most, other than Droogs, and every time I'm in Taino, you're there training. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can attest he's training very hard. And Cam, before I get you out of here, man, just with all the fans, your social media presence, you're going to be picking up on the scrap news, all the Cage Fury, a lot of eyes on this fight, man. Anything you want to say to everybody? If so, the mic is yours.
Just all the people that have stuck by me throughout this process over the past year, the injury and coming back. I just want everybody to know I'm sincerely and truly grateful, and thank them for, again, staying by me, right? I know this is not the easiest to be like somebody who supports somebody doing this, you know. It's hard to get in there and watch somebody that you care about get in there and fight. So I get it. So I just, from the bottom of my heart, just appreciate all the people that have stood by me, all my supporters, my family, my friends, all my sponsors. Thank you. So I look forward to making them all proud and continuing to do that.
I hate watching you guys fucking fight, man.
Dude, it's stressful, man.
Horrible.
I'll tell you this before we go. This fight at Boston wasn't as bad, but when we were at MSG, when I was at MSG for Dre's fight, I want to say in November, dude, I was shaking, like legitimately shaking to the point where I was like in my head, like, dude, get a hold of yourself. Like, I was like telling myself to work on breathing techniques and shit. I'm like shaking. It had to be the atmosphere, but yeah, it is. It's very stressful, especially like I said, when it's somebody you care about
man.
fighting somebody.
I can promise you, you'll hear me yelling. But ladies and gentlemen, Cameron
man.
Scalio looking to go 5-2 September 1st, Cage Fury 123 at Parks Casino. You can cash in on OnlyFans and UFC Fight Pass. But Cam, my man, thank you so much. Kick ass.
Thank you, brother.
And we'll talk on next week.
Yes, sir. You got it. Thanks for having me on, brother.